And hello! Hope you're all having a nice Tuesday afternoon here on the very 1st of October, the beginning of the spooks. I know it's a bit of an odd time to be hosting a stream. I don't usually... Well, actually, when I used to stream all the time back on Twitch, actually, this was like around the time I usually started, but... Hello to everybody here. Hello Dylan, Pikmin, Emerald Ninja, Mart. Finally managed to watch one of these at least for a bit. Yeah, today's gonna be just a nice chill day where we just catch up and talk about stuff that's being planned for the rest of the year. And because, you know, staring at this starting screen is a little bit boring. That's the wrong screen. You can't, don't look at my skeletons. Why is that on the fucking Discord? Hang on, you're gonna have to give me a second. I don't know why I defaulted to that fucking thing. There we go. Since it's the a nice casual thing, just play in the background while we have a chance to chat. Just pulled up a character for World of Warcraft. I'm just gonna be doing a couple leveling stuff in Tearsfall Glades, which is a place that's perfect for this time of year. How was the new expansion? The new expansion's great. I'm actually surprised at how good a lot of it is. The stuff that's always been good is still good. Like the raid is still great. The dungeons are great. The writing is taking a step up. The in-game cinematic team is doing wonders, and it's like night and day from a couple of expansions ago. Like how good it is now. And apparently Delve's hurt, but that's because he's choosing to do them on his own. He's a squishy little monk, isn't that right, Joe? Also, hello. Bro, I did LFR. But yeah, essentially today is just a day where we talk, which is why for the entirety of the stream, Q&A is open. So if you have something you want to talk about, by all means, go ahead. I guess I should note that the latest video I'm working on is almost done. It's supposed to be out yesterday, it's not. Whenever I give release windows for things, it's usually best to give it an extra week because I'm me. And for one reason or another, I almost always end up either taking longer than I expected or adding more things onto it in order to make things take longer. Whose face is that in Ranger's armor? Oh, that's Jerma. That's a Kino Fabino meme that I just snagged because I thought it was funny. Who will be the chosen one for your new video? Oh, it's Ragna. I talked about this last stream, but yeah, Ragna is the next character that is being covered. And then after him will be Drago. Have you gotten to play Zelda Echoes of Wisdom? I have not even got a chance to watch anybody play it. I hear people saying it's really good. I hear some people say that it's okay. For the most part, I hear people saying it's good, which is good. Haven't finished watching the stream. I actually had a bit of a cold. I mean, that's fine. If you were to make a Xenoblade Chronicles 3 character in Smash, how would you go about doing it? Xenoblade Chronicles 3 rep is almost guaranteed to be in the next installment. It'd probably be a combination, it'd probably be a tag team of Noah and Mio. Which is a character that I've had planned for a while, and they're still coming. But yeah, I think a tag team of Noah and Mio is the best because of the two main characters. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 introducing the mechanic of anybody being able to be team leader at any given time just by the switch of a button is nice. And I think that representing that through a character that's a tag team that can easily swap between each other, I probably would give them some sort of like tag system mechanic where maybe during some attacks they would be able to tag another in order to keep a combo going, because you can swap leaders on the fly in battle in Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Would it be like Pokemon Trainer / Aegis where you can switch between them but they fight one at a time? Pretty much. And they'd be able to assist each other in some way, shape, or form. Build them maybe like an MVC1 character. But yeah, I mean a stance changer. Also, somebody asked what inspired you to make movesets? Playing fighting games. Just the joy of character creation is what inspired me to make movesets, because making stuff is cool. How would you use their Ouroboros power, or would that be left for their final smash? It would more than likely be a central mechanic between the two of them that like encourages you to consistently switch in order to get the most out of each character. And then once like it'd be like probably a meter system that heavily relies on both characters, so you have to use both characters in order to make the most out of the actual character itself. You probably would also get like extra bonuses for increasing the meter. Like I think giving Noah the abilities of Lucky 7 as an upgrade feature is nice, but like in contrast, Mio would get more abilities. Because I think another thing I would feature is like hero abilities, where essentially they get access to the abilities of other characters that are playable. Your WoW crashed. Sorry, man. I'm just collecting eggs. And their final smash should also probably change depending on who's the leader. Like they'd both get a unique like team up super. Since they both have unique team up supers that they can both perform in Xenoblade Chronicles 3. How would you design Diablo? Well, I guess the first question is which design of Diablo do I want to go with? feel like most people would want it to be D2, even though I'm more partial to D3. I like Xenomorph Feminine Diablo's design quite a bit. Yeah, more than likely, just like in Heroes of the Storm, I more than likely would try and make Diablo feel like a big, imposing bruiser that's all about throwing his weight around and like throwing people out of position by force, because he is like a big, imposing force. Hello, Pod Plant. How's it going, man? If you were to add a strategy game rep in Smash, who would that be? Let's exclude games like Fire Emblem. I mean games more similar to Total War and Civilization. Well, to be completely honest with you, I'm not exactly the biggest strategy game fan. So I'm not entirely certain on like who the best representatives are. But part of me, the only like notable strategy game that I know about is like Warhammer and StarCraft. StarCraft character would be really cool. Doing okay, much better than last time, updating a character moveset, then deciding who to make next. Got this week off, so plenty of time. Awesome! So Kerrigan? Well, it'd either be Kerrigan or Raynor. Or you could go Artanis. Although if I were to like pick a personal favorite, it'd probably be someone like Alarak. Because Alarak's just awesome. That's right, I have to catch them, not kill them. Is there any character in Ultimate you wouldn't want to return? I don't really like thinking about that kind of stuff, honestly. Is there any character that I wouldn't want to return? Probably not, because anything that I can think of that, like, reasons I wouldn't want a character to return can easily be remedied in a future game with updates to the character design. Like, characters are in Smash for a reason, and I don't think that they should just be removed for the sake of being removed. How would you feel if a Warhammer character were to enter Smash, considering the character doesn't originally come from a video game? Well, first off, it's kind of like, it's still game adjacent. It's tabletop. But I think that'd be fucking amazing. I would love to be a burly, like 9 foot tall, like 9 foot, more like 12 foot tall man in a giant suit of armor screaming for the Emperor as I like stomp on like Mario's head. Any Nintendo game location you want to see as a Mario Kart track? I think I know a lot of people probably said this, but a level based on Kirby would be nice as a nice callback to Air Ride. Hell, turning one of the Air Eye tracks into a Mario Kart level would be really cool. And then you could just make Kirby playable. Oh, you fucking... Oh, well, his name is Dumbass. You had to add a fourth Link. What iteration of Link would it be? It'd be Twilight Princess Link and the Link that we've had from Smash 64 till Smash 4. Because I think that there's a lot of potential with that character that was just lost in the translation between 4 and Ultimate. That and Twilight Princess is now, while it used to be like a majority of what there was, now it's like non-existent in terms of the characters of Zelda being in Smash. Recent surprise entry to my 25 most wanted is Nomad from Dylan's Rolling Western. I've not played that game. I probably should. Probably would have to, you know, do the bad thing and emulate it. That's fine. I still have my Citra. I'd pick Hero of Legend Link, Link to the Past, Link's Awakening, etc. That would be my second choice. But the reason I chose that Link is because I feel that arguably that Link is better designed than the one we currently have. Like, remote bombs are fun, but like a majority of the stuff we lost with Link just feels wrong. Company behind the series went under, which is a shame. I feel like that's a lot of companies in today's day and age. I remember having a dream the Wolf Link was playable. You know, is that an option? Because if Wolf Link is an option for a fourth Link, I think I would have chosen Wolf Link in Midna. But I didn't know that that was an option because he's so freaking different. Why of all the Darkstalkers characters was Felicia your main? Because she was just fun. Highly aggressive character that literally once she put you in a corner, like you were fucking finished. Like there was like next to no chance of getting out if you knew what to do. Though I've said this before and I'll say it again, in more recent years I've kind of become more of a John Talbane main than a Felicia main. I'd count it? Okay, then I revoke my statement and vote for Wolf Link and Midna. I feel that Link changing from game to game is better representation as the incarnation of Link keeps changing. I wish each Link was even more different, especially Breath of the Wild Link, given his unique tools. I guess one of the reasons they never did that was because, you know, they had two other Links in the same game, and they brought back another one just for Ultimate. Also, hello Akano, I hope you're doing well. Which underrated Nintendo game do you want a sequel of? Astral Chain, Yoshi's Woolly World, etc. Chibi Robo. Just because I can't really think of one that I like, that like really jumps at me. Are you going to try Mario and Luigi Brothers ship? Yeah, probably some point, like very, very far down the line, simply because I don't have a lot of time for stuff like that nowadays. And any time that I usually put towards gaming, it's kind of just been relegated to a very select handful of things, like World of Warcraft, Zenless Zone Zero, and a couple of other things. I know that I'm buying it day one. Comes out in like late January, if I recall correctly. I might end up getting it simply if there's like nothing going on in the games that I play. November? Wait, it comes out this year? I thought it was next year. Well, shit, never mind. I guess I'm going to be waiting a while in order to play it, because I did not expect it to be coming out this year. But yeah, I also haven't gotten to other games either. I haven't played the Mario RPG remake. I haven't had a chance to even play Wonder yet. So yeah, there's a couple of things I think I want to play before I end up investing money into a new Mario and Luigi.
You're leaking tons of fluid and it looks like gas. That's why I'm wondering what your gas is. It's all coming out.
I really want to see the new villain. I love Mario and Luigi RPG villains. I'm surprised you haven't yet. Don't they usually show them off in like the very first trailer?
Yeah, you will, Homer, man. Don't worry. Go.
What are you going to do on Halloween? You know what? Good question. I kind of haven't mentioned my plans for October, which I probably should. So, a lot of October is basically going to be me working around waiting for games that I play to get Halloween updates. Like, Deep Rock Galactic will get one. There will be a couple other games I play that will get one. I'll stream those and I'll play those. I also want to bring back a couple of other things I played last year. I have a good feeling that World of Horror is going to get its new update very soon, because it's been teased and it's been in development for at least like over half a year at this point. But I do want to add like an actual game, like just to play through during the Halloween season, and I want something that's short and sweet and fits the time of the year, and I think that game is going to be Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Symphony of the Night is not a very long game. I could probably beat Symphony of the Night in like a stream or two. But on Halloween Day, I'm not entirely sure if that's the day we're going to be doing our Halloween multiplayer stream, because yes, that is something that I need to, put together, try to determine a date for. If it can be on Halloween, that's fantastic, but I have a feeling that like last year, it'll probably be like a week or so before. Have you ever made a Smash moveset for an earlier Smash game, earlier and not the latest at the time? Yeah, on my old channel, I had a bunch of like move sets for like plethora of characters for Smash during the speculation days of Smash 4. Another question: I wanted to buy Gmod because of the RP servers. Are they any good?
This border area is pretty clear.
Well, you should know that Gmod is apparently going to be closing down in the next couple years. It's either going to be like next year or the year after. So if you're going to invest time and money into Gmod, just know that you might not have much time to invest. Apparently so. I remember reading up on that during the time when, the some fake copyright like spammer like got a bunch of Nintendo stuff taken down from Gmod's workshop. No, I don't want to join your empire, thank you. No, I'll queue for this because I can. Might as well. I could be wrong. You might want to look into it a little bit more. But I do remember reading up that it will be closing down in at least in the next 2 years. Is there any newcomer character that you really wanted in the game but were disappointed by the moveset / playstyle they were given? Well, a lot of the characters that I want never got in. And thankfully, the ones that I did basically played very close to what they should have because they were fighting game characters. And thankfully, they got the feeling of a fighting game character down right with Ryu in Smash 4. And yeah, I guess, you know what? Yeah, Ridley's, I guess the character I'd say is Ridley, yeah. They kind of dropped the ball with Ridley in a few key places. Who's your favorite Dark Nintendo character? Well, if you can count Dark-type Pokemon, I guess Weavile, because it's my favorite Pokemon. But yeah, in terms of what you can expect here during October, as I said, it's basically going to just be waiting for certain games to get updated. So while waiting, I'll more than likely just play things that I played last year. Like, you can expect a run through of Vampire Savior. You can expect some World of Horror. You can expect Binding of Isaac. It's a nice time of year to bring back Binding of Isaac. I haven't played in a while. And And other than that, it'd more than likely be just Halloween multiplayer stuff. There'll be the Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland run through on Halloween night, and yeah, that's pretty much the plan for October. Because everything in between then is basically just working on stuff.
You can be the best of the best.
I feel like they were trying two different ideas for Ridley, but committed to neither of them. Now he has a his defensive playstyle, but also made him too light for that. I don't know if I consider him defensive. He's decently offensive. I don't know. He's a weird all-rounder that kind of really doesn't like excel at any one given thing. But he has the tools to be like a decent counterpick against some of the game's higher tier characters. Like a lot of people say that Ridley's like a really good counterpick for a character like Joker because of like the range on his tilts and stuff. Then he, can outspeed Joker. Yeah, I wouldn't call him defensive either. He's an all-rounder. Like he does some stuff okay, but he doesn't do anything particularly well. He has a bad projectile that needs to be changed up and he can't move while charging. Yeah, it's kind of sad that in the game where they added more mobility to characters charging projectiles, they kind of added a character that couldn't make use of those changes. You also can't store the charge either. Now that I kind of think about it, I'm not super particularly keen on a lot of the Ultimate newcomers in terms of playstyle. Like, Ridley's all over the place. The Belmonts are an example of like a zoner in Smash done well, which is rare because, in my opinion, a lot of zoners in Smash are either like very okay design-wise to very, very bad. Because they kind of miss the entire point of being in a platform fighter the majority of the time. I think K-Rool, while his some of his attacks are really nice and he has a lot of expression in his animation, his playstyle sucks. I feel like K-Rool should be faster. Like, K-Rool should be like around the speed of Bowser, and he should feel like more unique than he currently is. Because I think one of the biggest things about K-Rool that holds him back is that he's slow, when he's never shown to be slow in the Donkey Kong Country games. Incineroar is great though, yeah, Incineroar is the outlier. In my opinion, Incineroar is probably like the second of the main Ultimate newcomers that actually is well designed. Well, you don't love K-Rool being another King Deity when Deity sucks? Well, first off, they don't know what they're doing with Deity, which is sad because he could have a clear-cut playstyle, but they kind of just either don't care or they just don't know what they're doing. Aegis are okay. Oh, I'm only talking about the base Ultimate newcomers. The character designs definitely got better in the DLC, somewhat. Like, I enjoy Joker. Joker's fine. He's obnoxious to play against, and I think that his advantage state is way too strong a majority of the time. But I think, like, he's fine. Hero is way too volatile to thoroughly enjoy either playing as or against. I've already said my piece on Banjo, and I think that while I'm very happy he's here, the fact that he plays the way he does feels very fucking weird, and I feel like he needs to be like heavily revamped in the next Smash if he ends up being in the next Smash. Terry's amazing. Terry's like up there with Incineroar for like one of the best designs in the entire game. Byleth is Byleth. Min Min is Min Min. And while a lot of people probably won't want to hear this, Min Min is, I'd argue, better designed than like 80% of the zoners in Smash. So make of that what you will. Let me think who else came out in past two. Oh yeah, Steve has a very well designed, regardless of what the competitive scene will tell you. What else? I'm not entirely sure how I feel about Sephiroth. Like, on one hand, it's really awesome that he's here. And he does some things very, very well. But it's very clear that some of his moves were, like, made to look very fucking weird because of the fact that his sword is so fucking big. Pyra and Mithra are probably the best tag team character in the entire game next to Pokemon Trainer. And Kazuya is awesome, and then Sora is... It's weird. I haven't really played much Smash Ultimate since Sora came out. I think you forgot about Hero. No, I mentioned Hero. I said that Hero's too volatile to thoroughly enjoy playing as or against. And it kind of just leads to a generally frustrating experience. I don't know if I'd agree with that. I think it's weird that they share all the same animations for their normals. I kind of don't mind that because it helps with the muscle memory of swapping between a big heavy hitter and a very fast damage dealer. I kind of like that it's a character that you're purely just changing the stats of the character instead of the entire moveset. I kind of wish that there were more characters that did stuff like that. My question was along the lines of while Ultimate is the latest Smash game, but you design a Smash Bros. For SSB, SSBM. I want to know if that is something you've done. I mean, I just designed for Smash in general. I try to take as much in as I can from this series as a whole, while, you know, not designing things for like exclusive mechanics that were in one game and never came back. That's why I don't think about a character wave dashing, because I don't think they'll ever bring it back, even though I think it's abundantly clear that they should. Do you think Charizard is better off as part of Pokemon Trainer's team or its own character like from Smash 4? I kind of wish that there was an option to play as them separately or together. Like a medium between Project M and the way they handle the Pokemon and the Pokemon Trainer themselves. Like, let me choose to be a tag team, or let me just fight on my own. And my playlist paused. Critic, you've been asking that question for like the last 20 minutes. I don't do requests, thank you. And this stream is purely not designed for that. Pokemon Switch could be moved to Shield Special. The problem with that is that you wouldn't be able to switch in the air. The reason I think that Pokemon Switch being okay on a character like Hisuian Trainer is because of the fact that the Pokemon are not the focus. The trainer is the main focus, and their ability to swap between things on the fly as necessary. But the Pokemon Trainer literally is the Pokemon. You need to focus on them. So making it so that their switch has to be only on the ground heavily restricts the playstyle of the three Pokemon working together, and as a result, I don't think it works. Do you wish spirits had descriptions just like the trophies, along with the spirits of all the fighters as Final Smashes? I think everybody would say yes to that. Even if they just recycled a lot of the descriptions they had from Smash 4 and just added on new ones for the stuff that was brand new, I think that people would have been fine. And arguably, you get like a team of like 6 people on that, it'd be done in like a week, if not less. Especially if you crop out the ones that have already been done. I like the idea of Shield Special a lot, though. I made a proposal for a playable Rex and made Shield Special Vanguard switch the swap between Rex and Aegis. There are definitely characters that could 100% make use of a Shield Special. And to bring relation to your character, to your name, and the character related to your name, I think Olimar should have a Shield Special, and I think that his Shield Special should be what his Down Special is now. And that the Down Special should be changed to something completely different, and Shield Special just whistles the Pikmin back to you. By the way, how do you think City of the Wolves is turning out? Well, considering the fact that it's very close to launch and they kind of already teased that like Chun-Li and Ken are going to be playable characters, I think they're doing very well for themselves. I'm starting to wonder, with all this love between SNK and Capcom going on, if, you know, is CVS 3 actually about something that could potentially happen in the next couple of years? I know 2024 isn't over, but any video game characters who debut in 2024 do you want to see in Smash? I don't think there's any characters that debut this year that I honestly would expect. But I do, you know, Zenless Zone Zero did launch this year, and I do want to do movesets on those characters. Did you hear about the Ronaldo SNK collab? Yeah, and I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't think anybody does right now. Like what, is he gonna be a playable character? That'd be fucking weird. Do you have any predictions for the Pokemon Legends ZA starters? No, but I hope they're well designed. That's all I can just say. I think there's potential they'll be like the same thing as with Suion, where it's one Johto, one Unova, and one Alolan. I just hope that they're well designed, because I'm not gonna want to, because if they add like Torchic as one of the starters, and it gets a Kalosian form or whatever they're gonna call Kalos in the distant future, I probably want to be using the original Hoenn Blaziken over the new one. So I hope it's for more obscure starters, honestly. I don't want Incineroar to be one of them because they might replace his funny Intimidate ability. Yeah, as Pause Plant says, Legends doesn't have abilities. I also don't know what they could do for a, like, Kalosian Incineroar. On this A's is, let me get a Greninja and I'll be perfectly content, because that's probably the starter-based Pokemon I'm going to be focusing on more than anything else. I was very surprised we have not heard anything about that game. I feel like we've only had that teaser like 8 months ago, and that's it. which more than likely means it's not coming out early next year. This might be the holiday game for Pokemon in 2025, which is good because that means that there's no Gen 10 next year. And that's kind of what I think a lot of people are hoping for, is that there is no Gen 10 in the same year as a Legends game again. And that Legends gets the time it needs to be the best it can be. Are you at least going to dress up in a scary costume? I don't have a webcam. You wouldn't see anything. I'll just say I did. And there's no way you can disprove that I didn't. Do you think Meowscarada, Skeledirge, or Quaquaval have potential for Colosseum forms? I think they're probably a little too new to be getting new forms, but I think they're... I don't see why not. Not gonna hold my breath on it, though. They're probably not even gonna be available in the game. Considering how rushed the previous Pokemon games have been, I'm glad they're apparently taking their time with it. That is a big apparently, because we don't know if they truly are. I want to believe they are, because it has literally been 8 months since we've heard anything about ZA or anything related to new Pokemon projects. I'd like for Meganium to get the regional form. That line needs some love. Yeah, stuff like Meganium could use a new form. That's why I kind of like that they put in Cyndaquil in the first one, because Cyndaquil are... Because a lot of the... While I do like the Johtonian starters, they are notably more bland than a lot of the starters that would come after them. Arguably even before them. Like, the Cantonian starters have so much more personality than the Johtonian starters do. Hey, Camp. How have I been? I'm doing okay. Just chatting, doing some casual WoW while I wait, and answer questions. My dream would be Chikorita, Tepig, and Sobble for a multi-generational star selection. I wonder what they do with a regional Meganium. More than likely just change it to look like a different type of flower. Which Pokemon would I like to have a Mega Evolution? I'm not sure. Part of me wants to say Weavile because I want Chen Power of the fuck that new ice type is in Gen 9 to go fuck itself for taking Weavile's place in competitive. But I can't really think of anything notable. The smartest thing they could do though is make Ash Greninja the Mega Evolution of Greninja. Don't go making something new, just take that design and make it Mega Greninja. Just rename it to Mega Greninja. Even if it'll make the fans salty, do you want Charizard and or Mewtwo to get another Mega Evolution in Legend ZA? Doesn't really matter what I want, because I tell you right now, it's gonna happen. Charizard's gonna get a new Mega Evolution in ZA. I don't know about Mewtwo, maybe. But definitely Charizard's going to. It's going to be like a cross between X and Y. Or something along those lines. I'm more interested in terms of... I'm not thinking about Mega Evolutions. I'm thinking about regional evolutions. Because that was like one of the coolest things about... I don't know if you heard that, but that was a train passing by. One of the coolest things about Arceus was just the new evolutions for Pokemon. Like, it's awesome that Ursaring got a new evolution and is now like a full-fledged, like, bear. Okay, yes, we hear you. Jesus fucking Christ, man. I'd like for Sunflora to get an evolution. I know everyone says Grass Fire, but I'd rather have Grass Psychic typing go all in on the Sun worship angle. Yeah, it's gonna evolve into the tree spirit from the new Elden Ring DLC. Just a big, giant, angry sunflower. Nice wheelchair. And my playlist ended. I've gotten a weird obsession with this lately, but what do you think about the potential of a new PlayStation All-Stars now that the genre has exploded? Part of me says, if you know how to improve upon the formula, and you have developers that are passionate and want to actually make something good, go for it. But with Sony being the way it is nowadays, I don't trust them whatsoever to do a good PlayStation All-Stars game. I mean, this is the same company that, like, less than a month ago their president put out a statement saying, we don't have that many, like, notable franchises. And the entire collective gaming world went, what the fuck are you talking about? As franchises like Sly Cooper, Jak and Daxter, and all the others just rot at the bottom of the fucking ocean. Like, the only thing I want from Sony is I want them to take the collections of their old games and release them on PC. And Bloodborne. But I do think that if the right developers were in control, they'd be nice. Because I always encourage like competition in this genre because it breeds innovation. It encourages all parties to continuously improve. And I think that the reason that Smash, in terms of design, has become so complacent in mediocrity is because of the fact that they've had no competition. What PlayStation characters do you think have potential and improve PlayStation All-Stars? Well, again, it depends on, if they're able to get half the characters they want, because that was a big problem with the original. I think all the notable PlayStation characters should be there. Kratos, Sly Cooper, Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, and several others. Astrobot could also be thrown in there too. Bring back some classic characters like Parappa the Rapper and Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal. But in some new characters that were released after the original PlayStation All-Stars, like Ellie or Joel from The Last of Us. And then get some big name third parties and actually get them this time. Don't get Dante, get Dante. Raiden was awesome, but people wanted Snake. Don't scrape the bottom of the barrel, go for as big as you can and give them the budget to do it. Actually get Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, like you wanted to have in the original. Do you think they could get Cloud today? Oh, absolutely. I think they could 100% get Cloud in a PlayStation All-Stars game now. Yes. They do get launch exclusivity of the remake trilogy currently. Apparently, they're not having it for the last iteration of the remake. Apparently, that has been dropped because they just can't afford to miss out on the profits of releasing stuff on PC and other platforms at the same time. Which, let's be fair, we all saw this fucking coming. Square Enix is a company that is so driven by money that they were definitely going to basically flip the bird to Sony and their timed exclusivity bullshit, which frankly everyone should do. Because exclusives are fine, but there's nothing that is more obnoxiously painful and just like damaging to the video game community than timed exclusivity. Like, what a fucking horrible business practice that shit is. Like, people can talk about Nintendo being litigious and taking down fan games and whatever. Nothing hurts the video game industry more than timed exclusivity. Nothing does. It harms profits. It harms growth. It does nothing for the people involved. Do you think they'd want a Persona character, or has Persona moved away from PlayStation too much? That entirely depends upon Sega, and Sega nowadays are filled with a bunch of fucking assholes. So probably you would not get a Persona character in PlayStation All-Stars. Like, I have no idea what the hell is going on at Sega, but everybody's complaining about Nintendo being litigious with Plow World and shit like that. When, if you look at the stuff going on at Sega, it's like, holy Jesus, what the hell is happening here? It's so much fucking worse. From what I've been able to gather, Sega's been involved in a lot of shit in the past, like, couple of years that has just both pissed everybody off and made them next to impossible to work with. I think the first thing that comes to mind on that topic is apparently we were supposed to have a Persona crossover in Fortnite, like earlier this year. Back around, I want to say, February to March, we were supposed to have a Persona 3 crossover. And the game was supposed to get, like, skins and stuff like that. And apparently, the reason we don't have it yet is because Sega is fucking insufferable. Essentially, word through the grapevine is that Sega wants a mega collaboration. They don't just want Persona, apparently they wanted to get Yakuza and Sonic in there as well. And the big reason why we don't have Persona or anything from these games in Fortnite yet is because they won't accept the fact that Sonic can't be his regular size. You'd think they would just admit it. They make him like a back bling or some shit like that, but no. If you don't have normal size Sonic, which for those that don't know, he's like 3'3", you can't have Yakuza or Persona in Fortnite. Which is the dumbest fucking thing imaginable. Let's not forget what happened when Sonic Origins launched and what happened behind the scenes. Yeah, as I said, Sega's been not good. They're also being, like, completely and utterly slammed for a lot of their games basically having their translations ruined in the past few years. And rightfully so, because that is a giant problem in today's day and age. Why can't they just use Boom Sonic? I don't know. You'd think that'd be the thing they go with, because its proportions would kind of fit that game. You give him a slightly bigger head, and he has a big lanky body with long arms and long legs. And you just use Boom Sonic instead. But Sega being Sega, they have to cause problems, and apparently they just want to be on everybody's shit list this year. Or just give us Eggman. Exactly, they could just give us Eggman instead. I would take Eggman with like a Sonic back bling. Probably because people hated Sonic Boom. The game, the cartoon was fine. Well, it hasn't really stopped companies from putting in the lesser liked parts of their franchises into Fortnite. Like, for example, while the suit of armor for the for Fallout was based on one from Fallout 76, a majority of the references from Fallout in Fortnite were references to Fallout 3, which compared to New Vegas, like was like the black sheep. In a majority of situations, you run into people, you'll ask them what's better, New Vegas or 3. 98% of them are going to tell you New Vegas. You're too late, Sonic. I have already achieved the Battle Royale. Let Eggman hit the gritty. It'd be so funny. What is your opinion on obscure character requests for Smash? I have no problem with it. By all means. You are allowed to request and like who you want. Nobody should be able to tell you otherwise. But just keep in mind that just because you want something doesn't mean you're going to get it. But yeah, you want to vote for somebody obscure, by all means, go ahead. Some obscure characters could be amazing fucking characters in Smash. There were plans for a Metroid collab in Fortnite, but Nintendo apparently didn't want their characters to be featured on other consoles in any fashion. Oh yeah, no, that's real. That's also something that is completely and utterly stupid. And let's be realistic here. The only reason that didn't happen is because we're in the successful era of the Switch. Nintendo, like every company out there, are the biggest assholes when they're doing well. When they're not doing well, they're far more experimentative and willing to take risks like that. If that happened during the Wii U era, Samus would be in Fortnite. 100%. And Link probably would be too. I swear to God, Takamaru should be the next retro rep. He was considered twice, for goodness sake. Being considered twice is very good for your resume as a character in Smash. And I definitely think that he has some decent potential. He'd also be, filling a nice niche of being the samurai character, which is something that we don't have yet. But the thing is that Takamaru is kind of a weirdo in terms of play style. While he is a samurai, he's not very based around his sword. He's kind of he's very projectile oriented. His games are very projectile oriented. Hire Felicia fan, please. I don't know. I don't think I would. I don't think that I'd fit in well with a lot of teams over there. I'm too headstrong in some areas. I'm a Sukeban believer. He'd be really fun. Sukeban has a lot of potential. There's a lot of retro characters that have potential. And I do think that going forward, they should look more at characters based on their potential as opposed to just being a popular character. Now, there are plenty of characters out there that are both. That both have a shit ton of potential and are very popular, and those are probably the characters that should be looked at immediately. like Waluigi, for example. So much you can do with that character. You can build him so many different ways. I'm kind of, while there are characters that I want to see get into Smash, I'm starting to slowly move away from character I want to just looking at a play style, and I don't care what character takes, I just want them to take it. If the character's fun, that's all that matters to me. If they're fun and they have some level of depth to them, I'll welcome them with open arms. I don't care what game they're from. I don't care if they're relevant or they've never been heard of before, or they haven't been anything for like 30 years. Just give me a character that's fun. I know basically nothing about Nier Automata, but do you think that 2B would be an interesting addition? 2B would be amazing. 2B has already proven that she is a fantastic fighting game character choice because of her appearance as both a 3D fighting game character in Soul Calibur 6 and a 2D fighting game character in Grand Blue Fantasy Versus Rising. Like, 2B is absolutely a character that people should consider. There's so much like fun stuff you can do with this character. I don't know if this was mentioned yet, but how's the review document on the Clear for Battle review moveset? You know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I've been thinking writing out a document to review movesets is very time consuming, and more often than not it's time that I don't have because I'm busy working on other things. How would you people feel about a one-on-one conversation reviewing your movesets instead? Like, I'd choose a day. I'd say if you want to have your movesets if you weren't reviewed during the stream, and you want your movesets reviewed, like you want feedback on your movesets, like get in the voice chat and I'll pull you in and I'll talk to you and I'll tell you exactly how I feel about your moveset. Because after doing that with Old Man Hen like a couple days ago, I feel that that's like the best way to do this. Because it's the most natural way to do it, in my opinion. But Felicia, I'm shy. You don't have to talk if you don't want to. It's just so that I can talk to you. If you're not comfortable talking back, that's fine. I just would prefer to discuss it with my words rather than writing out a document because it's so much easier to get things out by just talking with somebody. Again, you don't need to talk if you don't want to. You can type. There would be a channel for you to type, but for me, I think it's best if I just do it with vocal because it saves me so much time. I would probably, the way it would work is I give you a date, a date and a time. Like if you want your work reviewed, like be in this voice chat by like this time on this day, and then I'll announce that I'm doing it as a reminder on the same day. So It'd be like, okay, I'm going to start reviewing movesets now, so if you want your moveset reviewed, join the general chat and I'll pull you in one by one to review your content. Basically, I'm handling it the same way that my professors in college did, where we would all join a voice chat, and he would go into a different chat and pull us in one by one, and the work would be reviewed that way. Basically, I am now your professor. So how would that work? You do the stream, then whoever in chat does like a dibs moment, then you would... So basically the stream would happen as normal. Whatever movesets are reviewed, they're reviewed on the stream. If I don't finish reviewing the moveset that I've chosen on stream, the person has a chance to continue having their work reviewed via voice communication. It would more than likely be like one weekend is, here's Clear for Battle, I'm gonna review it, do everything I can on the stream, and then the weekend after it'd be like, okay, now's the time where I'm gonna start like reviewing everybody that wants it reviewed. Because that's the thing, I'm not gonna go on my way to review work for people that don't want it reviewed. You have to actively want me to review your work. It's just that way of showing the incentive to want to improve. Because, I'm not saying any names, but there have definitely been people in the past on Clear for Battle that do not really listen to what I tell them. As a result, I think that spending my time to write out reviews for those people would be a waste of my time. So, yeah, I'm now actively forcing people to want to improve their work by choosing to have their work reviewed. I like the idea because a one-to-one conversation allows the reviewee to correct any misunderstandings or elaborate on things easier. Exactly. Voice communication is always easier than text. Now, I might stumble over my words a lot, but even then, it's still easier for me to just say, like, I feel this, I feel this, I feel this, I feel this, instead of having to take, like, an hour and a half to write down everything that I feel about one topic. Just to relieve some pressure, can you sum up your thoughts on the Nabbit moveset I made? Was it worse or better than what you got so far? From what I saw about the Nabbit moveset, the word I'd use to describe it is quirky in some spots, while other spots I think are completely fine. And I think that if you want a better description, you're more than likely going to want a one-on-one conversation. But essentially, I think that for the mind job, but I'm not going to lie, I don't entirely remember a lot of it off the top of my head right now, so having the chance to sit down and talk while reviewing it again in real time would probably be the best way to get feedback. So basically, a needs work. Pretty much. I think that that's like a consensus for a lot of the movesets I receive. It's just like it needs work in some spots. But that's the point of the that's the point of the show. You're not entirely coming here to just like be like, look what I made, look how pretty it is. It's what can I do to make this better? Like, that's the entire point of Clear for Battle. And you guys should be proud of the work that you've made. Even if it's not the best and some things can be improved, you need to take some pride in your work. Because I'll tell you right now, from what I've seen since starting Clear for Battle, some of you guys out there are better than like 90% of the moveset creators on this platform. And I think that some of you should absolutely, like, maybe consider making videos out of these movesets. Maybe you're, you know, not comfortable in front of a microphone, or, you know, you're not super keen on editing or structuring videos, and that's fine. Because that does take some time to learn. And not everybody's going to be amazing at one thing and amazing at the other immediately as well. We'll be free on Wednesday. I have to choose a date. I more than likely will lump the movesets made for this Clear for Battle, which is happening this Saturday, by the way, in with the ones from last month. Because from what I've been able to garner, a lot of people just resubmitted work. When I don't think that's a good idea. Simply because it will be looked at. What is your stance on using ChatGPT for movesets? Is it encouraged or discouraged? I mean, generally speaking, ChatGPT is not going to get you the results that you're looking for. They might help you, like, structure a sentence that you want to use to describe something, but more often than not, you're not going to get, like, revolutionary ideas out of ChatGPT. It's basically use at your own risk, because you're not going to get anything notable out of it. Use it for, like, sentence structuring and stuff along those lines if you're unsure of how you want to make things, how you want to, like, order things in your documents or whatever. But don't use it to actually, like, make ideas for you. You will get some weird shit that makes no sense. I know because I actually wanted to do a video where I have ChatGPT make me movesets for characters. And I've gotten some weird fucking things. Like, I had an instance where I wanted it to make me a Leon moveset, and the fucking moveset included throwing Ashley at people and doing the gritty. So, make of that what you will, and take that as a warning. Also, I did mention this, and this is technically a spoiler for stuff next year. I know that not everybody in my chat is super keen on making movesets for Smash, and that's fine. I want to expand what Clear for Battle is for in next year. This year it's still focusing on Smash and Rivals. Yes, Rivals has always been an option if you want to design something for Rivals and submit it. But next year will include stuff like Marvel vs. Capcom and Darkstalkers and Street Fighter and stuff like that. So if you want to make movesets for characters for those series, you will be able to. And you'll be able to submit it and have it reviewed. It's basically opening up everything. Any plans to do other things with CFB, like a tier list or ranking, something like that? No, because that actively would discourage people if I put them low on a tier list. The point of Clear for Battle is to encourage people to keep getting better at what they're doing. I do not want to, do something that would actively discourage them from continuing to do what they do. So literally whatever game you feel like making a moveset for. Exactly. Opening it up to everything. But it would have to be for a game that actually exists. That's the only caveat. It can't be for like some fan project that you're working on. It has to be for a game that exists. I just have the image of Ashley hitting the gritty as she's being thrown. I love Fortnite, but Jesus Christ, has it like it has poisoned the water supply of some characters' reputations, because the moment they're put in the game, that's like all that people associate them with sometimes. Because, you know, the common meme is, oh, isn't that blank from Fortnite? Spider-Man from Fortnite? Like Naruto from Fortnite? Does it still have to be plausible characters? Can I make a moveset for Batman and MVC? I think I would allow something like Batman as a interesting because that is an interesting concept of like seeing what Batman would fight like in a versus series type of game, because from what we've been able to gather from what the games that he's been playable in, nothing really matches that level of speed and potential like nutty shit that he'd be able to do. So part of me wants to say yes, I would allow a moveset for Batman in Marvel vs. Capcom. I also would probably like allow like Darth Vader, because he's like, you know, Disney, you know, Marvel Disney. And be like, haha, look, funny, like crossover guest character. How do you know what to say to someone when you know his or her moveset is objectively awful? Oh, how? Well, experience. Just, you know, years upon years of doing what I do. I also try to not use, you know, terms like objectively awful to describe things for people that are, you know, that don't know any better. I like to think of the way I look at movesets like Gordon Ramsay is in, like, you know, a lot of his shows. He's harsh on people that should know better. That's like his entire thing. Like, if you see him on like shows where it's like based with like the kids, where it's like the kid cooking show that he runs, like Kitchen, like Night, I don't know what the fuck the name of the show is, Hell's Kitchen for like kids. He's never mean to those kids. Like, it is night and day how nice he is to those kids compared to how like harsh he is to the people in Hell's Kitchen. I like to think of myself in that regard. I'm harsh to the people that should know better. That's why I look at work like from like Rolf van der Delzenten. Those people should know better, which is why I'm harsh on them, because they should know not to do the things that they do, but they do it. If you're somebody that MasterChef Junior, maybe? I don't know if that's the name of the show or not, but yeah, I think that's what I'm referencing. Could CFB later allow conceptualizing your own Smash game and choices for characters? Potentially, but that'd be something that'd be very difficult to review in a very set amount of time. Which is why I probably would have instances where if people want to have it so that they submit something, but they don't want it reviewed on the show and reviewed later on, I'd probably let them do that. If it's something like bigger in scale, and they know that I wouldn't be able to get through it in 40 minutes. Because again, that's going to still be the timer for how much I let movesets get reviewed going forward. What do I say? Oh, what do I say to them if their moveset's objectively awful? Well, I think the first thing that comes to my mind is... Fuck, I'm drawing a blur. Sorry, like 4 things just came to my mind at the same time. I would more than likely start off by saying that I feel like this needs more work. Like, there's definitely there's some things here that work, but it's clear that there are things here that needed more time to experiment with. And I would take this back and like review some things, because some things like clearly do not work. Basically, it's giving them everything they need to know that it's not good, but it can be better without telling them that it's shit.
Why are you locked in the bathroom?
Excuse me, give me a second. Sorry, phone call. Again, for people that are starting out, you don't want to just tell them that their work sucks. Like communication for work is very important, and choosing your words carefully is a major factor. And it's arguably something that not a lot of people do in today's day and age. Like, people like love using the word, you should do this. Oh god, voice crack. You should do this, you should do this, you should do this. Instead of, you could do this. Could is a suggestion. Should is a demand. And trust me, I've had a lot of armchair developers try to tell me what I should do, and I tell them exactly where the fuck to go, because I'm a person that I don't mind what you like or what you watch, but don't you ever fucking tell me what I should do. Any tips for character creation for MVC as opposed to traditional 2D characters? I'd like to conceptualize 2D characters, but I want to try to translate them into MVC for this show. Well, the biggest thing that you're going to need to convey in a Marvel vs. Capcom moveset is how cohesive the design is. Like, you can... at face value, an MVC moveset is very simple. It is... Depending on whether or not you want to go with the MVCI/2 layout or the MVC3 layout, you have a maximum of 3 to 4 buttons, and you have a bunch of special moves that have very simple inputs for those buttons. You got like your standard core circle forward, your DP, core circle back. Very rarely do you have any complex inputs on MVC character. The thing that you need to convey with an MVC moveset is how everything works together. And arguably, it's very difficult to do so. Especially with just text. basically how to retranslate loot in Street Fighter into MVC. What differences between the two game types should I think of? Well, for Luke is a character that I feel doesn't really need a lot to translate to MVC. Like, I think a lot of his specials working the way they do in Street Fighter would also work pretty much the same in MVC. You know, probably a lot of combos based around wall bounces. His perfect inputs would more than likely be like a central part of his game plan. And that's also another thing you need to think of. You need to think of like, how do combos with this character work? What's like the optimal what's the optimal combo routes for this character, and how are they designed to play and feel? Like, what are the extenders? What do you use as a means of finishing a combo? What is an optimal assist for this character? What does this character add in terms of assists to another team? Again, there's a lot of factors around a character's inclusion in MVC beyond the moveset that needs to be taken into account. And that's the biggest hurdle when designing a character for a Marvel vs. Capcom game. I personally like to go with MVC3's controls. That's my favorite, and the one I've spent the most time in. I feel that it's most people's favorite. And it's definitely a good place to start because it is arguably the most simple. I know that I'm still working on that video that's basically a guide on designing Smash Brothers characters. I feel that maybe I should also do one for MVC as well, because there are a lot of intricacies about MVC that not everybody picks up on. Street Fighter characters are probably some of the easier ones to translate in an MVC type game. More often than not, they are. More often than not, it's simply just changing the way certain characters' attacks work in the setting of MVC compared to the way they work in Street Fighter. Thoughts on Death Battle? I don't really care for it. I'm happy for the people that are getting it back, but like as a series as a whole, it's like whatever. More often than not, it's kind of like pushed me away because a lot of the outcomes are based on like really, really fucking weird hypotheticals, and most of the time they don't really make any sense. Like, if people enjoy it, I have no problems with it, and I hope that you continue to enjoy it, and it continues to get better and better. But, like, it does nothing for me as a series. Have you ever played God of War? Played the originals. Played 2 and 3. You know, back when God of War was actually good, in my opinion. I think I'm gonna find a place to land. I'm gonna switch characters. So I've just been flying around. Right, perfect. Also, for the people requesting movesets, I've said this before and I'll say it again, I literally do not take requests. If you want to do a moveset for those characters, by all means, go ahead, but unless it is something that actively interests me as a character, then I have no interest in actually doing a moveset on them. Because I only cover things that I find actually interesting. And, you know, that I'm actually able to cover, because there are characters that I'd love to do, but I just can't for one reason or another. No, this makes, you know, getting these requests is making me think of something that actually happened earlier last month. So for context, I like to grow my hair long. I only have like a haircut like twice a year at most. And a lot of the people that cut hair around here are not great. So I had to go find someone new. Because the last guy that cut my hair, he lives his place is like 45 fucking minutes away from me, and I don't want to ride that far to get a haircut. It's too long, and traffic is usually hell. So, I find there's a nice new place. A place I haven't heard of that's highly rated in my town. And I go there. I book an appointment. And I'm there, I'm talking to the barber. I say, I like simple. I usually just get my hair layered back, a few inches off the top, like a couple more in the back, just so that it doesn't hang past my shoulders. And I'm sitting there and I'm talking with the barber, and one of the guys there is standing in the back, probably on his lunch break, because I did come in around lunch. And he stops, he says, "Your voice sounds familiar. Are you a YouTuber?" Or something. And I tell him, "Yeah, I run a small channel. Probably nothing like that anyone like here would probably know about." And apparently, this guy's younger brother watches my channel. So he knows my voice and he knows who I am. And we quickly get to talking. And apparently these guys are huge fighting game nerds. And somewhere in the middle of the conversation, the guy that recognized my voice said something that I've been thinking about for like the past 3 fucking weeks. He said, and I quote, "Why are you wasting your talent on the Smash Brothers community? They don't care about people like you. You'd be much better off putting that towards other franchises with more friendly communities that actually give a shit." And of course, I gave the response of, "I play everything. I I have no like attachment to Smash. I play everything, and there are franchises I love more than Smash. I just like the design aspect of Smash. And the reason that this has been stuck in my head is because while working on Ragna's video, I was reminded of something very similar said by an old friend of mine that was said in 2022 in like the third to last local for my main local that I went to before it shut down November of that year. It was basically like the first time we've seen each other in like 8 to 9 months. He didn't live in Toronto anymore, so it was basically just a chance to catch up, and we were doing friendlies. We were doing friendly matches of BlazBlue. He was playing Ragna, which is why it came to my mind, and I think I was playing. I wasn't playing Susanoo because that's my main. I don't like using my main in friendlies because it's. I'm the kind of guy that doesn't like to use like characters he seriously plays in those kind of scenarios. I think I was playing Makoto. Regardless, not important. Basically, you know, chat about life, chat about like how things have been since then. And he says, I had a chance to watch your last video and I thought it was really good. I think around that time, it was like early August, so I think the last moveset I did was like Kraid. It's like you've gotten like really good in the last couple of months because that was around the time when my content was starting to get a shift in its quality. And you know, we went back and forth talking about how like stuff's changing in the fighting game landscape. Like a lot of stuff has happened about, you know, the Smash community since then. As the last time we saw each other, that was before so many of the allegations came out about a bunch of people in the Smash community. And essentially it led to him saying something along the lines of, the Smash community hates people like you. They see people like you as a meal ticket. Like, they're not interested in how good you are at something, they're more interested in what they can get out of you. And it's strange because I've always had feelings like that for the Smash community in the back of my head because it is extremely demoralizing when, you know, you work hours upon hours putting all the work yourself into one project and like the first thing you get is people demanding something else. Like, it is unbelievably like demoralizing. Over the years, I've tended to not like let it get to me as much, because I'm just used to it at this point. But yeah, it is a problem in the Smash community, and I would be lying if I said that there hasn't been a part of me that's just wanted to be like fuck these people. Like, I kind of don't want to do this anymore. I'd rather move on to other franchises just simply because of the fact that, you know, again, they treat you like a meal ticket. And while I don't entirely agree with everything he said on the matter, I definitely think that there's some truth to that. And my response at the time was, you know, the comment, oh, but every fan base has people like that. And it's true, they do. But like, it definitely feels like when it comes to character design, the Smash community respects it the least out of every other community that I've associated with in the past. Why do they see you as a ticket? Well, because they see that I do something well and they want me to do something that they want. It's like, can you do this next? Can you do this next? You know, not taking into account that I would have to literally drop everything I'm working on and start a completely new project. It would take hours upon hours to collect footage for, research, and all this for a character that I might not even know very well. It's basically, this guy does it well. I can maybe get something out of it. It's a meal ticket. There's no genuine respect for what the dude does. And not everybody's guilty of it. Which is probably one of the main reasons why I never left the Smash community. Well, I don't associate with the Smash community because of a lot of fucking reasons. But I've never abandoned Smash because of the fact that I know that it's not everybody. And not everybody's like that. There are people out there that genuinely respect this stuff. And, you know, they want to see more of it, and they want to improve what they're doing. They want to improve what they're doing themselves because of the stuff that they see. Imagine that barber and his brother watching this right now. I don't think the brother watches. I think it was just... Sorry, I don't think it was the barber. I think it was just the brother. But I guess he just knew who I was because of his brother watches the channel. And if he's watching... hi, I guess. Probably not watching these because, comparatively, very, very few people actually tune in for these types of streams compared to how many people, tune in for the stuff that I actually work on a daily basis. But yeah, you should never just come to people and just start demanding things out of them. 100%. I know you don't take requests, and I don't want to be one of those people, so I'll only ever give you completely optional recommendations. I understand how annoying it must be for you. Well, I guess I should reinstate that there's a difference between, it's not always people asking, it's people demanding too. It's do this next. You should do this character next. Do this. And it does get infuriating after a while. But I have no problem with people saying oh, I'd love to see you make a moveset for this. Because again, it's all in the verbal communication. Saying, could you do this? Should you do this? You should do this. I'd like to see it happen someday. The notable difference between, can you just do this? Or, you should do this, and I'd love to see this, is night and day. So people that want to get stuff out of moveset creators, learn to stop just saying, can you please do something? Or you should do something. And start being I'd love to maybe see this because your work is so good. Verbal communication, again, is so important with this stuff. And it is the thing that will make or break a lot of creators either blowing you off or potentially giving your suggestion a chance. But the people that came into my chat, that was just can you do this? No. Not gonna happen. I should also state that for regulars in this chat, this does not apply to you. So, Isaac, you have nothing to worry about. Very rarely do I have an instance of regulars doing stuff like that. I think the regulars know that that's not, like, accepted here. Also, hello, Matt. I hope you're doing well. Oh, I was talking about requesting things in general. I mean, still. Yeah, I know that it's more than likely a byproduct that a lot of these people are young. But you know what? Your parents should teach you some manners. And just saying, can you do something, and also demanding things out of people, not good manners. Reconsider your situation. Sorry for that tangent, it's just... It's just that question, like those statements made both in last month and now brought back into my mind because I'm working on a Ragna video. They've been like eating away at me for like the past like couple of weeks. Sorry I haven't been saying much. I've been doing stuff while listening to this in the background, so you have to deal with this. I mean, everybody has to deal with it. Not just me. Everybody that does this kind of stuff is going to run into people that just are there to literally just be leeches. It is the way of the internet, but just because it is the norm doesn't mean that I'm not allowed to say I don't like it. So what direction were you going before that popped up? Well, it's strange. I'm always going to have support for the Smash series because it is a massive part of my life as a fighting game player and as just a video game player as a whole. And I will always like cherish and respect the amazing things that this series has done. Not so much recently, but like in the past. But there has been like a part of me that just wants to like... No, let me rephrase. There is a part of me that just doesn't care what happens to Smash going forward. Like, requesting things is starting to get to a point where I'm starting to run out of faith for the people that are running this series. If this next game doesn't, give me what I'm looking for in a platform fighter, I'm kind of like fed up and finished with the series. Especially since Rivals 2 comes out in less than a month. And this is a game that is not only adding on to the formula of a platform fighter by introducing new abilities and giving characters that already had an enormous amount of depth to them even more depth. But it's actively giving me so much of what I'm looking for in a platform fighter that I look at Smash in its current situation, and while I could say, like, I think this should be better, this could improve, there are aspects here that are muddy and definitely should not be, like, continued going forward. There's nothing wrong with giving characters more depth because it doesn't harm the casual aspect of the game in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, you will, Homer, man. Don't worry. Go.
With Rivals 2 giving me everything that I'm looking for and more, I'm starting to care less and less about where this series goes from this point on. Because while I know for a fact that the reboot stuff is bullshit and will never happen, where it goes in terms of its newcomers and its mechanics and their consistent refusal to look at what worked in the past and build upon the stuff that worked in the past, like, I don't care. Like, part of me just does not care because I have another game that now gives me everything I'm looking for. Alright, take care, Isaac.
We need to speed things up. The king has nosy visitors. That could pose a problem.
Take care, man. And it also really doesn't help that, like, the community of Smash as a whole, while I don't like associating with it, they have become extremely complacent with the mediocrity and the holes that they continuously dig for themselves. And because of that, it's kind of, I don't want to put as energy into, like, dragging them to the water anymore. Also, hello Incognito, hope you're doing well. Sorry, you're coming in on a rather, like, negative note as a whole. Because every time I have to talk about Smash, it has to somehow, devolve into, like, these feelings of contempt. Because that's just the way the fan base is nowadays. Worst MVC design, any tips on what not to do in an MVC moveset? A character has to have weaknesses, so don't make them Phoenix.
Hope you understand that this border area is pretty clear with threats. Check, please. Flaps up a little bit. Cool.
Things can always get better. They can, but people have to want them to get better for it to actually improve. And if I'm the only one, if I'm like one of the few people that looks at a situation and wants things to improve, then being as small as I am, it's not worth the energy. Like, my mindset with the Smash community is essentially this. Ready for Battle, which is the guide that will be for helping design Smash Brothers characters, is pretty much like the last, like, notable olive branch that I'm going to extend to this community. I'm going to, like, give you the tools to help you improve aspects of, character design and wanting things to improve as a whole for the community, I'm going to drag you kicking and screaming to that water, but it's up to you to drink it. I'll give you everything you need to improve, but you have to actually want to improve. And if you don't, then there's nothing I can do. You know, it's based on the saying, you know, you can drag a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So yeah, you know what? Like, create what you want, support who you want. Really doesn't make much of a difference to me or a lot of things as a whole, because again, things are like so like dug deep in terms of like the hole that this community has dug for itself and its reputation in the past couple of years. Like, it's up to you guys to want to fix yourselves. I'll keep making movesets for Smash characters. That's something that's more than likely not going to stop until I'm actively done with my channel, which I don't have any intentions of stopping anytime soon. I'll help the people that want to get better through Clear for Battle and, you know, Raid for Battle as a guide on helping them improve their design aspects. But everything beyond that point is out of my hands. It is completely in the hands of the people that take the things I give them and, you know, putting it to good use. Sakurai stepping down is a positive sign. Well, we don't know if he's entirely stepped down. Even if he isn't the director of the next Smash, he probably will be involved in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, I guess you want to talk about some spooky shit during a spooky month. Smash community is pretty fucking spooky. And I hope that the people that keep, you know, giving them the hard time that they deserve, people like Technicals and stuff like that, I hope that they keep doing it because they deserve it. And they don't have anybody to blame for being in the position they are than themselves.
You can be the best of the best of the best.
I think I'll probably play the next game regardless, but I really want Olimar to be improved. I think that this next game really, really needs to look at what the last games lacked and build upon it. And in my opinion, those things are gameplay feel and modes. Oh, he just died. Yeah, they need to focus on gameplay feel and modes. People have been asking for a full return to a story mode for 2 games now. And the development of the last 2 games has been really fucking shit for a lot of reasons. With Smash 4, they tried too hard to make a game work on two different sets of machines, and it ultimately ended up kneecapping a lot of the potential content of the game. And as a result, one version felt notably worse than the others in a lot of ways, and by that I mean almost every mode that the Wii U version got over the 3DS was worse. Like, the 3DS got Smash Run, which was so much better. Its classic mode was better. A lot of the modes in the 3DS version were better than the ones in the Wii U. And that should not have been the case. Smash Ultimate, they just focused on bringing back everybody, and the development time of that game was pretty short compared to the game before it. So a lot of stuff had to be sacrificed in order to make that game actually happen. Give them a bigger team, give them more development time, give them a bigger budget, and focus on the things that people have been asking for from Smash for fucking years, which is improve the gameplay, improve the netcode, and make a story mode that people like again. And don't get rid of the story mode because of cutscenes on the internet, Sakurai. There's no reason why these games shouldn't be enormous successes in every field. But it feels like for the last few Smash Brothers games, we've been taking like 2 steps forward and like 5 steps backwards. And ultimately, it definitely feels like the team is tone deaf to a lot of things that are popular amongst Smash Brothers fans, and they just they actively ignore it. And it's not healthy for anybody. There's no reason why Smash should be in the state that it's currently in. There is no conceivable reason why we are where we are right now. I'll bite the hand. What would happen if Sakurai had Heihachi in the Super Smash Bros. Brawl instead of Rob? I don't know. I'm not interested in the what ifs. I'm interested in what can be's. And objectively speaking, Smash right now could be so much better than it currently is. Like, I'm trying to think, when I think of what's best for Smash, I try to pull myself out of the situation as much as possible. Because the more I detach it from what I want and look at the bigger picture of what's best for everybody, the more concise the design feels. And simply put, it is best for the health of the game and the community as a whole, for the gameplay to go back to feeling like Melee, and we're getting big, notable game modes like a story mode or an adventure mode, and, you know, having a game feel like a complete package at launch. I don't want to divide people because of my personal preferences. That's the biggest thing here. I am interested in unification over dividing people based on personal preference. And that is something that so fucking few people in this community actually think about. They don't think about what's best for everybody. They only think about what's best for them. I, on the other hand, would love to see a day, an age, where the Smash community is no longer divided because of the mismanaging of one product. I want to see a day and age where people from both sides of the Smash community can come together and be unified again. And not have it just be a game that one half of the community just plays for a week, realizes it's not that good, and leaves to go play the game that's objectively better. Just give players more things to do, both in terms of gameplay and in terms of modes, and everybody's going to be happy. This is the Martin Luther King speech of fighting games. I'm sorry. I'm like, think of a very, very, very small equivalent, because in terms of me, in terms of my reach and my size, I am not an MLK in this situation. Can this thing fly? No. But he moves like he's got places to be. It's just that I'm passionate about this stuff. And when I'm passionate about things, I talk a lot. And it kind of sucks that when, you're passionate about something, but then, you're met with people like, calling you pretentious and stuff along those lines, or ego-driven, when it's literally not the point. The point isn't, look how much better I am at this than you. The point is, look how much I care about this. And you should too. This isn't a dick measuring contest. I know some people say it takes nothing to be nice to people. Requires nothing out of you. And it's true. But it requires effort and energy to be passionate about something. To have the energy to stop and say, no, I don't like this. This can be better. My biggest wish for the next game is just character interaction. Even if it's just text boxes and story mode, I want these iconic characters to interact out of just fighting. I agree, which is why the cutscenes in Subspace Emissary add so much, because even if we don't see these characters doing anything inherently interesting a lot of the time, getting to see them actually, do anything with each other is great. And while a lot of these characters being in the same game is awesome, I feel like a lot of the grandiose aspect of a crossover game has been lost in Smash since Brawl. Like, while Brawl, like, literally destroyed the Smash franchise for a lot of reasons, it was I'd argue that Brawl was the last true, like, video game celebration of Smash. Like, it celebrated the fact that these characters were here. And we saw that through Subspace Emissary. And all these characters are given, time, and they're treated well. We lost that in Smash 4. We could have had that in Ultimate, but, World of Light turned out to be awful in a lot of ways. I think that's just one thing that Sakurai really needs to bring back in the next Smash. If you're ignorant enough to ignore everybody crying out to make the game feel better to play, if you're going to ignore these cries out for better content and better modes and better online, better everything, make Smash feel like a crossover game again. Because outside of those character trailers, Ultimate did not feel like a crossover game in a lot of ways. You had glimpses of it in small cutscenes, and that was it. Do not make that mistake again. I want to see, like, characters doing things together. Like, I want to see Ken throw Terry his hat, like in CVS. I want to see Mario and Sonic interact in some way, shape, or form. Because it's the iconic rivalry of the 90s. I want to see the villains of each series try to interact with each other in some way, shape, or form. Maybe like a show of power between like Ridley and Charizard, two dragons standing against each other. Just give me something. Because the entire concept of Smash is that it's based on a child's imagination, and that these aren't the real characters, they're essentially just toys being brought together to fight, play fight with each other. You're gonna look me in the eyes and tell me that there aren't kids out there that didn't have, interactions between, their, Iron Man and Batman action figures before the fights happened? Just give me more, and I'm 100% there for it. It doesn't have to be big. It can just be a little something at the beginning of a match. But these characters should interact with each other in some way. To be fair, implementing this would mean the Smash devs would actually need to engage in any Pikmin content whatsoever. They have to engage in a lot of content that they arguably don't engage with. Because Smash is slowly starting to become more like Mugen more than Smash. And I mean that less in the sense of, like, oh, all these crazy characters in one game, but like, in Mugen you can make any character fight any character. But that's just it. It's a bunch of characters in one spot. No interaction, they just fight. For some people, that's enough. But people want to, more often than not, people want to see these characters, you know, do something in relation to one another. I'm gonna start just spamming the core and Iron Brew. Alright, Matt. But yeah, just, you know, I've talked for long enough. I think I should, you know, be taking in more questions instead of just rambling. Asking more on MVC, I guess, to elaborate more, is that I'm thinking about neutral mostly. Feel like I can't make the typical Ryu use fireballs to catch into DP. Something I may not do in MVC. Well, neutral in MVC is literally just whoever gets the first hit wins, majority of the time. It's like two characters moving around extremely quickly, looking for one single opening. Neutral in MVC is like, there is no neutral majority of the time. Also, hello Crubbington, I hope you're doing well. I think it's kind of sad that the stages don't feel important anymore casually. No one gives a shit that Kirby and Cloud are fighting on Azurta's back. That's true. And thank you for asking what I miss. Basically, earlier we discussed plans for October. I said that, you know, I'd be doing a couple of things that I was doing early, like last year as well. Like I would be bringing out Isaac, World of Horror. I do a run on Vampire Savior. And then a lot of the streaming is basically just waiting for games that I play to get Halloween updates. And working around it. Like there's gonna be a big multiplayer stream like last year. There's also gonna be, sorry, I hit my keyboard. There's also going to be a, you know, Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland run through on Halloween. I talked about how Ragna is next. But I already mentioned that in the last stream I did as well. Ragna was supposed to come out yesterday. He's not done yet. I'm aiming for him to be done around the same day as Cleared for Battle, which is on this Saturday. What else? Drago's after that. I said that I wanted to like actually like play through a game during the Halloween month, and I said I wanted to do Symphony of the Night. I probably will start like Symphony of the Night like probably next weekend. What else? And then it kind of just devolved into being like into talking about Ready for Battle being something that's still worked on, and I'm basically like just giving the Smash community the tools to improve on their own, and I kind of don't care what happens to them because Rivals is giving me everything I need, and it's up to them to improve themselves past that point. And then I'm basically just going to be, you know, focusing on myself and the things that I enjoy. I'm not sure how to make a moveset comprehensive and built around the philosophy of don't get hit first, hit the other opponent before they hit you. You normally don't have to, because it's pretty much every character in the game. What you really need to just think about is like combo routes and how the character goes about it. Like, is this character more ground-oriented? Can they fly? If they can fly, like, what is their optimal way of dealing damage? Can this character relaunch, or do they need an assist to do it? Something along those lines. You don't need to worry about, you know, getting the first hit, because once you get the first hit, you're good. But yeah, it's not much has happened today, honestly. It's just been a chill day, pretty much. Also think about how the character's moves will can synergize together, especially with special. Exactly. Happy that I got my mount. Which mount did you get, Joe? Was it the spawn of Beldar? Or was it the robot? Well, oh, fuck. Was it this? Oh, neat. So now we can be robo buddies. Congratulations, you have the Gmod build finally in your inventory. Why does this queue taking so fucking long? Not sure how the synergy works if like Shoryuken doesn't work with Hadouken in the same way in MVC than in SF. I would do research. I would just like pull up, either if you own the game, pull it up and just like try doing combos. Or like watch footage of people doing stuff with the characters in MVC. If you're always unsure of like how you want to do something, it's almost always best to just pull up the game and play it a little bit. Just to give you an idea of what you might be looking for. Oh, finally, Jesus. But generally, when it comes to like special move synergy in MVC, the most important things are simply just linkers and relaunchers. So stuff that you use in the middle of a combo is a linker, and A relauncher is essentially something that gets somebody off the floor so you can continue comboing them after an air combo. Like, one of the reasons that, like, Doom is so good is because he is, like, the best at relaunching people. He has several moves that hit OTG off the ground, and as a result, you can basically just loop them to death. You can loop any character to death with, you know, like, standing heavy, launcher, jumping medium, foot dive, repeat, launcher, jumping medium, foot dive, relaunch them again, jumping medium, foot dive, and then foot dive, and then when you do the relauncher again, you do level 3 and they're instantly dead. It's like one of the easiest ways to kill somebody in MVC. It's as stupid as it sounds. Most projectiles in the Versus series do not combo unless they're like very specific characters. Like Akuma has a combo fireball that he does like jumping fireball to OTG people. The most difficult thing you're gonna have when it comes to working on this stuff is just making the move, just making the specials synergize in a combo. And you're basically gonna just want to make a checkbox of, can this character fly? Yes or no. If the answer is no, then it's actually a lot easier because making a character that can fly is normally more difficult because there's so much more that has to go into their combo structure. Can this character OTG themselves, or do they need an assist? If the answer is yes, then they tend to be easier to play and very easy to do B&Bs with. Like, for example, like Chris has a very good OTG with his crouching heavy where he just shoots somebody off the floor with his pistol. So you can use that in order to relaunch them and get another combo going. And like, what super do they want to finish with? Can they get more off of this super if they like X Factor cancel it? Because that's a big thing in MVC3. Because something like if I want to give an example with a character I play, like Felicia, you can do a combo that's you can do all her jumping attacks in a single jump, land, launch, do the combo again, delta kick to launch them back down towards the floor, and while they're bounced, combo them into level 1. And right before the level 1 ends, you X Factor cancel into level 3 and you can kill like 95% of the cast. Hello, Ethan. I'm doing okay. Just talking about stuff. Currently just, giving hints for stuff and how to work in like MVC3. Guess people want to make MVC movesets for Cleared for Battle starting next year. I guess I should also restate that I think I said this last stream, but there is more coming this year that is not just challenger concepts. And I wanted to have at least one episode of each of my new series is done by the end of the year. Like, the big thing that's being worked on right now in the background is rematch number 1 for Lucario. I'm still trying to figure out, you know, a nice balance on how I want to make those, how I want to present those videos. If I want to keep it close to the format of Challenger Concepts or go in a different direction with it. I'm currently leaning towards keeping a lot of the same aspects as Challenger Concepts. So, you know, it has an intro, it breaks off into, you know, character mechanic, here are the moves that have changed, and it ends with like a review of everything that has been discussed. But some things would have to change simply because it is not a pure brand new moveset, it is, you know, just revamping a character. Is there anything else I want to bring up? Because I have been going for a lot longer than I planned to, honestly. But I don't think I want to close the stream just yet. So thinking about how to use specials in a combo, not as much in neutral. Well, more often than not, specials in the neutral are basically just ways to start combos.
You are leaking tons of fluid and
Those are essentially cutscenes in a way. Well, essentially it is, because once you get the hit, there's not much your opponent can do except just look on and accept the fact that they're gonna probably lose the character that got hit. That's kind of the nature of MVC. Especially high-end MVC. I don't think if there's anything else I forgot to mention. Mention the streams. Mention the characters that are coming next. Actually, you know what? I know one thing I can do, and I'll do it after I, you know, kill Iron Brew, Dire Brew, whatever, on this character. I can show the thumbnails for upcoming videos, just to give you an idea of what's coming. And I've actually, I'm trying to, again, revamp the way thumbnails look by changing around some aspects and trying to make it look as close, even more closely to an actual, like, character's splash art as possible. Just want to say that I do feel bad for submitting movesets there from my theoretical Smash game with new mechanics. I know it makes it a lot more difficult to review. Not entirely. In the sense of like new mechanics, the question that would just be asked is, since this would not be in Smash, is there an equivalent for it? Are there any equivalents that you would make for it in like a Smash Brothers today, or Or is it something that just can be omitted and isn't really that much of a deal? Yeah, it's just gonna stand in the back. Alright then.
Copy. Understand that this border area is pretty clear. With
But yeah, that's not really that much of a detriment, honestly, because it would just relieve to the question of, is there an equivalent for this in like a Smash game that we currently have today, or would it just be omitted and not be a major part of the character in like a game without it? So how can I make a character feel unique in how they play, or how do characters generally differentiate themselves? Well, I do think that when you have to get down to like the super nitty gritty of a character's design in MVC, they are very different. When they get going and start doing combos, they tend to homogenize pretty freaking hard. And it's usually broken up into like two different categories. If the character flies or if the character doesn't fly. If the character doesn't fly, then they more than likely just, have a bunch of OTG relaunchers, and they usually finish their combos with like a super of some sort. But if they can fly, they more than likely like use like flight loops in order to deal a majority of their damage. Also, the 3 Delve quest gives 18k gold. Jesus Christ. That WoW token's definitely going to go up in value pretty soon, I have a feeling. And I think I already have enough gold for like 2 of them. Because this expansion has been giving out so much fucking gold. I pondered the idea of an air dash, but plenty of characters could have access to it. I feel that I keep air dashes to like an exclusive thing for certain characters when they cross over. Like spoilers, Ragna's gonna have an air dash because there's air dashes in BlazBlue. Yeah, Joe, so much money to be made during this expansion. Especially this early in the expansion when people are still buying resources for extraordinary fucking prices. Yeah, let me show off a couple of things. I'm going to add these as a source instead of going to search for them. Like, Ragna's is pretty standard. Like, this is going to be Ragna's thumbnail. Ragna turns the Wheel of Fate, because, the Wheel of Fate is now turning is the line that's uttered at the beginning of every fucking match in BlazBlue. You just leave that one up here. Yeah, another. And then you got Drago flexes on the competition. this is one where I started to, add a bit more refinement. I flipped the graphite, the graphite look on the letters at the bottom, because apparently, for some reason, I never really caught on to it. I guess because I never really paid attention, but it doesn't go from light to dark in like character introductions in Ultimate. It goes from dark to light. The bottom is always lit lighter than the top is, while the name itself always has, like, it goes from light to dark on the name and then dark to light on the flash description. I can show one more. I'm not spoiling the Halloween one, but I definitely will show. I'm showing the only characters that I've teased in some way, shape, or form. And I think I really nailed it with Shadow. So if all goes well, these are your next 3 characters. Rogna is a guarantee to be next. And then Drago will be after him. I've already stated that Shadow is either going to come out on the 25th of October or the 20th of December, and there's no other dates planned for him. So if he's not done by the 25th, then he will be put back till the 20th of December to coincide with the movie launch. And I guess Halloween stream's gonna be special because, I basically plan to, make it, the debut of the new video. It'll be the place you see it first before I actually publish it on my channel. And, if you watch it on the stream, it'd be highly appreciative if you, also went to the video and, supported and gave it a like or a comment. Because those always help. So yeah, Ragna will more than likely be done by sometime this weekend. That's the plan. Hopefully not later. Potentially be later. I'm not making any promises. Drago, I don't know when he'll be done. And Shadow already has 2 planned release dates, so if he doesn't meet one, he will absolutely meet the other. I like that Ring Fit series emblem. Yeah, I didn't make it myself. I took it off the internet. It was the only one of notable quality that I could find. Yeah, that's something to look forward to, at least. And I think that's enough WoW for the time being. I'll stay around for another 10 minutes, and answer any like last minute questions that people may have, since I know that some of you came in late. So if you have like, you know, any noble questions to ask, like I guess now is the time to do so. When would you think the one-on-one reviews start? I think I said that it'd probably be like the weekend after Clear for Battle happens, which will be on like the 11th or 12th of this month is when they'll happen. Give or take. Sooner rather than later is the best answer I can give. Are you planning on getting Echoes of Wisdom or Mario Party Jamboree? No. I don't really... I'm backed up on stuff that I haven't finished and want to get to that I can't really invest the time and the money into games that released this year. Like, I still haven't played Mario Wonder yet. Like, and like the Mario RPG remake. So I'm decently backed up on stuff. And a lot of my time usually just, when it comes to gaming, just goes to the familiar games that I play, like World of Warcraft and Zenless Zone Zero. You know, something that I can just get on for like an hour or two a day, do a couple of things, and then just, you know, go back to work and do what I do. The only game that I'm planning on getting this year for the foreseeable future is Rivals 2. That is an absolutely 100% happening. I also don't think I asked this or mentioned this, but for those that don't know, Blasphemous 2 is getting a DLC on Halloween. And I'm curious about it, because it's like a big expansion. And it's actual paid DLC. I'm curious if I should give it a try or not. Or, just play it on my own time when I have the time to do so. Like, a lot of the stuff for Halloween this year is pretty much just like feel it out as it comes, because a lot of stuff that I want to do doesn't have like set release dates yet. I just know that the games will more than likely have Halloween updates in some way, shape, or form. I feel like there was something else I wanted to say, but it just completely slipped my mind. do want to say it again, I am semi-serious, but do you think I could get a moveset imagining a Project Cross Zone like combo and reverse engineering an MVC moveset out of it? Probably not. I think that there's probably aspects to Project Cross Zone that, while they work in that style of game, they wouldn't work when translated to another type of media. You shouldn't be looking at Project Cross Zone for stuff for a versus series game. You should be more looking at how characters in the game do their combos and how they inherently work and function. It's like the equivalent of like looking at Mystery Dungeon when you want to make a Pokemon moveset. It's like they both have this. They both, have similarities between each other, but it's abundantly clear that they're very different from one another, and you should focus on the main thing instead of looking at side things that might have some semblance of comparison between them. Also, because the combos in general just don't work that way because it's always two characters doing stuff together. I think that might be all that I have to offer about this in terms of conversation. I guess I'll say that if I finish Symphony of the Night like very early on, I probably will make a poll for the next game that I could potentially finish and finish during the month of Halloween. And I'm thinking I did this I think 5 fucking years ago, if not more. I did during the month of October when I did actual streaming on Twitch instead of, working on a YouTube channel. I did a randomizer for Pokemon Platinum. That could potentially be something that I bring back and do again. If people are interested. A randomizer Nuzlocke, I should be specific. But that's a wait and see. That entirely depends on whether or not I beat Symphony of the Night in 2 days. Which honestly is pretty likely, considering it's a very, very short game. If you know what to do. The main question is just, do I remember what to do? And part of me is kind of, sort of. There's definitely patches that don't add up in my head. So yeah, I think, I guess with that, probably should end it because I'm basically just sitting here rambling at this point. And I am hungry and I desire to go eat something. So, quick breakdown for those that missed it. Cleared for Battle, the next episode is this Saturday from 1:30 to 4:30. Ragna will more than likely be out around the same time frame, either the same day or the day after. No concrete date there yet. But a lot of stuff for Ragna is pretty much cut and dry and done. After that, the next weekend will be basically dedicated to, starting to stream horror stuff because it is the spooky month. If I'm lucky, by then maybe some things will have their Halloween events started. If not, you can expect probably something small to start. Like one day will more than likely be like Isaac and like World of Horror maybe, or maybe just Isaac because I tend to get like lost in playing Isaac because it's so fucking addictive. And like the next day after that will be starting Symphony of the Night. There will be other moves that's coming throughout the month. You've already seen who the next 3 characters are. Halloween night will be a night where, you get the usual Kirby playthrough. It will be the premiere of the next moveset. And more than likely something else. There will be a multiplayer stream this month at some point. I have to, talk with people, get, work schedules laid out, and come to decide when we can get together and do things, because we didn't get a chance to do it for my birthday. And, we usually, get together at least once a year to do things. And it's always a very fun time when we do it. It's very chaotic, but very fun. So that's going to happen. More than likely around the ass end of October. And I guess, just to, give a teaser for November. November is basically just going to be... It's kind of the cleanup month, I'd like to say. Like, there's stuff focused for this month, and then November is basically just going to be cleaning out the stuff that I've worked on this year that isn't done yet. Same with December. There will be something releasing on Christmas, which is, a first for this channel. I've had things release on the 24th. Like, I know the last moveset I did for 2022 in Chosen Undead was released on Christmas Eve. But there's going to be something releasing on Christmas this year. And then, I guess, wonder if we could get together and do something during the Christmas break, because Halloween is usually around the time when me and my friends get together to do things. It'd be nice to maybe do the same again for, Christmas or the New Year. And I guess I should also say this, thank you very much for the people that watched and, liked the new Halo video that I put out. Very happy I managed to, get 2 videos out in the same month. Like the first time this year, actually no, second time this year. Because I got, a bunch of stuff out in March. I'm starting to, get back into things. And I know that while a lot of people haven't watched it, I did greatly enjoy working on the Halo 3 ODST video. And spoilers for those that haven't seen it yet, you're going to be getting a Halo 4 one next year at some point. Simply just because of the fact that it's such a nice departure from working on actual movesets, and it's always an enjoyable experience. So yeah, if you haven't had a chance to watch it, I recommend it. It is very chaotic, but it is a very fun time. And I guess other than that, if you want to keep up to date on what I'm working on, the best thing to do is join the Discord or follow me on Twitter. Usually Discord, because Discord gets notifications first. And yeah, I'll be seeing you this coming weekend for Clear for Battle. So it might be a short one because, again, a lot of stuff is resubmitted. So yeah, I'll be seeing you later. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for those that, been around since the beginning. Those of you gone late, everybody's welcome here. And yeah, I'll be around. But right now, I'm gonna go eat, and then I'm getting back to work because Ragna needs to get finished. All right, take care. Have a good one. And remember to hug